variety of Maverick instead of the red variety of Maverick. Now a 6-4 team score lead, heading into 149 pounds. Well, we've got number 2 in the nation versus number 3 in the nation. It's Eastside Dominguez, ranked 3rd for Nebraska Omaha. He comes in 27-8, a loser last night against Mike Long of Augustana in a non-conference match. Well, Tommy Abbott, a Delaware native, ranked number 2 in the nation, returning All-American, sophomore out of St. Mark's High School, Wilmington, Delaware, coming in 20-5. And this is a match where Abbott definitely needs to pick up the same type of win he got against Dominguez at the national duels, which is kind of hard to say. You can pretty much write down on paper. It was 8-0, a major decision for Abbott at the national duels. I don't think it's easy to major a guy like Dominguez twice in a row.
No, but, you know, Abbott's such a different wrestler. He does a real good job. He'll tie up on the elbows here, and he's always looking for that Fireman's and Short Kelly series, and he gets himself into some positions where most guys wrestling against him are going to feel comfortable with it, but they're only comfortable for about 5 or 6 seconds until they realize that they just got knocked to their hip, and Abbott's around behind for his 2.
Not a whole lot of action right now. Dominguez was a Greco specialist at a Creighton Prep in Omaha, but resides in Iowa, or at least the family does. Would always compete with an Iowa singlet at the junior nationals, even though he went to high school in Nebraska.
He won a couple of age group national titles, cadets and juniors in Greco-Roman.
There's Abbott with that dump again. Now he's getting 2 and 2. He's holding Dominguez, and he's going to quickly be a 5-0 lead. So Tommy Abbott with that, as you were mentioned, that Fireman's earlier, and that little dump roll through. God, I love that move.
He lives off that thing. He really does. And like I said, you know, guys are wrestling with him, and they don't feel themselves getting out of position, but, like, you know, they find themselves in a position like this.
Abbott trying to work up. Dominguez looking, can't really tell from our position, probably got a front headlock, or almost a guillotine, whatever you want to call it in your pronunciation. Abbott trying to hip over and improve his position. He's already got 3 near fall.
He's got 1 minute and 15 to improve, so he's got plenty of time here.
Now he's got Dominguez in trouble, looking to at least clear that wrist. Nothing happens. 3 near fall, so a 5-0 lead for Abbott. And how big is that momentum swing coming at 141 pounds with Abbott stepping on the match right after a big win by John Putman?
That's huge. You know, the MSU wants to stay in their face and really not let them breathe. And so far they're doing a pretty good job of that. And Abbott comes out and takes the wind right out of their sails in this match.
Tommy Abbott, a sophomore, was an All-American last year as a true freshman. Initially signed with Delaware State, the East Region in Division I. There was a coaching change there. Earl Walker was no longer the coach, so he got a release from the administration at Delaware State and started shopping around and found himself here in Mankato. So a great move for Tommy Abbott, a great move for Jim McCoskey. Kid like this really excelling on this level.
I can tell you we're happy to see him here, that's for sure, because he's fun to watch. And, you know, it's funny because that whole series he uses, that Fireman's series, it's such a basic thing, and you've got a lot of kids here tonight, and hopefully they're watching that and paying attention, because that's one of those things you learn in 2nd, 3rd grade already, and here he is making a living off of it.
Abbott riding tough, looking to bar that arm over. He had the bar on one half, looking to half the other, trying to horse him over the other way. But Dominguez getting out 1:35 of riding time as we're under 10 seconds to go here in the first period. A period dominated by Tommy Abbott. Had a chance to speak to his folks earlier. Got to say I've known Tom and Ann for a long time, so good to see them out here. A couple East Coast boys. What are we doing? Crowd enjoying this 5-0 lead for Abbott, and he's going to start down.
Hopefully you're enjoying the heat wave here, huh? What did we hit, 40 today?
Yeah, I mean, I saw people outside running with shorts. Like, what are you, crazy?
If it's not freezing, you can wear them.
So caution on Abbott on the restart here. Actually, well, the start of the second period. Team score 6-4 in favor of Minnesota State Mankato.
We've had quite a few cautions here already off those starts.
I once covered a match and I saw 27 cautions.
That's where the officials got to get to them right before they get there and let him know exactly what he's looking for. And
Abbott free, extending his lead to 6-0 with riding time. Now Dominguez trying to work with some working underhook. Now Abbott getting away from that. Tommy says, Tommy not in the best of positions, on his knees.
Yeah, but he's got that elbow. He's going to still be looking for that dump from there. And like I said, you know, he's made a living off that all year. The other night against Upper Iowa, he had himself into a couple of positions a few times that there's no way people should be scoring out of that. But all of a sudden he hits the dump, and there he is.
1:20 to go. Here in the second period, a 6-0 lead for Tommy Abbott at 149 pounds. Minnesota State Mankato holding a 6-4 advantage over top-ranked Nebraska Omaha.
Tommy doing a good job here, trying to kind of slowing things down on Eastside a little bit. Eastside's looking for those ties, but Tommy's not letting him have anything of it, and here he is back in that position. He's got his elbow. Wouldn't be surprised to see him hit that dump here.
It's a good position for him to hit it. Under 45 seconds to go here in the second period. Dominguez trying to throw him by across the top. This is where Dominguez is strong, is with his throws because of all those that Greco background that he has. But he beat Willie Holst, the previously undefeated #1 ranked wrestler in Division III, with 2 third-period takedowns on some nice snatch singles. So he's definitely got the offense as far as the leg shots in his arsenal.
I think he's going to have to go to something like that here because if he keeps getting into these short ties, like I said, Abbott's comfortable in that type of position. I think Eastside's going to have to change things up a little bit here if he wants to make a comeback at this.
Under 15 to go, second period. Abbott with a 6-0 lead and riding time advantage. Hasn't been a whole lot of action here in this second period. So we'll wait. Now Dominguez in on one of those snatch singles, doubles off. Abbott locking around the crotch. And they award 2 at the buzzer. Can't say I disagree with it entirely. We'll check with the officials. Abbott's grip seemed to block, and they had to unlock, and there's a 2-point takedown for Dominguez at the buzzer. That's a takedown you really don't want to give up in that situation, especially since you're close to getting your takedown away from a major decision, and now it's just a 4-point cushion. Now Dominguez going to start down here in the third period with Tommy Abbott holding a 6-2 lead at 149 pounds.
He's got a minute 38 of riding time, so try and build that up a little bit more. Eastside's got to get his head up off the mat there. He first move wasn't what I think Coach Denny or Coach Dominguez were looking for there.
Which Dominguez, third Dominguez brother to wrestle here at UNO. Now a throw-by attempt by Dominguez again after Abbott gets free and actually as Dominguez gets 3, it's a 6-3 lead for Abbott.
Abbott got that elbow. As long as he controls that elbow, he's going to feel comfortable and feel like he's got the upper hand in those positions.
Back to action. 1:28 to go here in the third and final period at 149 pounds. Jason Bryant alongside our resident fill-in. Say hi to the people.
Hello to the people.
Abbott hanging on the head now. Back to that situation. I've seen him wrestle like that for probably 5 or 6 years. It's just strange to see him sitting basically on his feet. Now he's going to get hit for stalling there on the edge. Dominguez pushing the head down on the edge. Abbott looks over at the clock. He's got a minute and 56 seconds of riding time and under a minute to go. So 2 more ticks of that clock and that riding time is going to be locked in. And there's Dominguez on the snatch single again. Abbott looking for the mixer. Or that underhook gives up the 2-point takedown, looking for the home run there. And Dominguez trying to create distance. 1-point escape, another snatch single. So it's now 7-5 in favor of Abbott. That riding time is secure. Nice heel, a nice knee pick right there off the edge, but Dominguez can't finish as we go out of bounds. And that was a slick little move by Dominguez there, even though he couldn't finish.
That was a nice little knee tap there. A little bit more room, and he probably would have been able to finish that thing. Abbott's got to stop thinking about how much time's left here and start thinking maybe about scoring here. There we go.
There's a double leg by Abbott, and I think that's more than enough to grab onto a leg and hold on, as we saw at 133 pounds. Dominguez trying to circle and face.
Dominguez has got to get down on that head if he wants to circle. There he did it.
It's 15 seconds to go. Dominguez trying to come around and tie the score up, at least on the scoreboard. He's still down with the riding time point. Dominguez just cannot come around.
Abbott's got that elbow now, and now he's going to, oh, maybe not.
Dominguez still trying to elbow. Abbott has that wrist and that leg. He's going to hang on and pick up an 8-5 decision with the riding time. So 8-5 for Tommy Abbott. It's going to make it 9-4. Didn't get bonus, although